Hello, everyone. I'm Joan Turner from the Greater Haverhill Arts Association, and welcome to another session of Meet the Artist. And you will not be disappointed today. We have Miss Kate Bozeo with us, and she's going to talk to us about some of her art and how we can get a hold of her if we need to. And I said to her during the prelim, I said, first thing I'm going to ask you is how old you are, because you look like, I don't know, 12, well, maybe 13. I don't know about 12. How old are you, Miss K?
I'm actually 38.
Oh my goodness. God love you. You know, when you're 58 and people think you're 38, that'll be a good thing, right?
Oh, totally.
Totally, totally. So, always, how'd you get interested in art? How old were you when you got interested in art?
I kind of always just drew when I was a kid. I was
You
always,
draw all over the walls. My mother said I used to draw all over her walls. And
I actually did that when I was a teenager.
good, good. I'm not glad I'm not the only one to get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So, as long as you can remember. Okay.
hmm
So, So when did you go to school for art? Like when I grew up, I started drawing all over everything, and my parents finally said, "All right, let's send her to an art school. Maybe she'll stop drawing all over our furniture and stuff." How did you? What did you?
So I did major in art for about 2 years in college, and then I actually switched majors and went into law.
You're the
I
second
know,
person
right?
that I talked to that did that. One went from law to art. You went from art to law.
And then I left law and went back to art.
Good girl. Good girl. So why did you leave law? Because I'll tell you what the other woman said to me. Say, why did you leave the law thing?
So actually I kind of was going through a rough patch with my mental health, and I just wasn't feeling like I was like really making a difference anymore, and I really wanted to do something that would kind of help and like make something positive for society. So I was just like, you know what? I can't do it. So I just left and
I think
started concentrating.
that is totally cool because when it comes to finances, you probably make more money as a lawyer than an artist. So I'm always impressed when someone chooses kind of the spiritual part of life than the
Yeah, and
monetary.
I wasn't even a lawyer either. I was actually a civilian employee for a local police department.
Wow. Oh,
I
wow.
was doing statistics and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty heavy. That sounds pretty heavy. So you left law school and became an artist. Did you have a mentor? Someone that you looked up to?
So my undergrad art teacher, Jerry Perino from Salve Regina, um, was really, he kind of helped me find my niche in sort of abstract and my love of charcoal. So he wasn't a full-on mentor, but I really looked up to him and I still look up to him today.
Nice. Oh, so do you stay in touch? Stay in touch with
Yeah,
him?
we're friends on Facebook.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is so cool. That's awesome. So people do people complain about Facebook and blah blah blah. And I agree, it has its moments, blah, blah, but it absolutely can help you stay in touch with people.
Oh yeah.
I was going to tell you what year I graduated in, but then it probably shock you. But my whole class has a Facebook page, and we stay in touch, and it's really kind of cool to see where
Aw.
everyone went, and even some of the artists and what they've done with their work, and so on and so forth. So you went to college. How did you learn? Just through college, or did you do something else?
I did a lot through college. I'm actually looking at some community college classes to kind of help me figure out how to do some other stuff that I'm interested in
Like
dabbling
what?
in.
Like what?
Oil painting.
Ah, good for
I've
you. Good for you.
never oil painted in my life, and I would love to try it.
You will like it. You will like it. Do you do acrylics? Are you interested in acrylics as well? Do
Yeah,
you already do acrylics?
most of the stuff I do right now in painting is acrylic.
Acrylic. Me too. I used to do oils all the time, but acrylics was better for teaching and doing fun and paints and wine paints because the paint dries faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
A lot
yeah,
of my
absolutely.
landscapes I do. um, in that area. So some of my landscapes are from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, because I love it there. And
Nice.
I'll actually paint on the battlefield in Gettysburg, and it dries so fast. So
It
I'm
dries fast.
constantly re-going over it over and over.
Yeah. Trying to blend with acrylics. You got to do it fast.
Yeah.
It, now I'll tell you, I actually mixed the two at one point. Like I would do kind of the background in acrylics, and then when I want to do a lot of blend work, I would do oils right over them.
Oh, cool.
So I actually mixed them. So experiment around a little bit. You will be totally pleased with it. So what else did you try? So you're doing acrylics. Charcoal sounds like your forte. And
Oh, I love it.
I have to say, I did charcoal in school and I was a mess because we used to use pieces of charcoal. Now you have charcoal pencils and blah, blah, blah. And this, that. How do you not get it all over the place? How do you not get it?
Oh,
I was all
that's
on my
half the
face.
fun.
That's half the fun of it, she says. I love it.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use a workable fixative as you're kind of going along or?
So I'll do the whole piece and
Yep.
then I do the fixed spray over the whole thing when it's
Okay.
done.
Oh, okay. So you don't use a workable fixative that you can use in between. All right. I have some students who not charcoal, but they'll do like pastel pencils. And that's one of the things that, I worry about people inhaling them and blah, blah, blah. But there's something called a workable fixative that you can spray while you're working on it. So that seems to help them. But I love charcoal. I love the black and white. I like the contrast, and there's so many different shades in between, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you use to blend them? Do you use like blending stumps and
Yep, I use the blending stumps and sometimes I'll even use my fingers and that's where the messiness comes in.
yeah, 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 yeah. Do you ever use like white charcoal pencils or anything on that idea, or colored papers?
I do use the white charcoal if I really need a good highlight, or I'll actually use one of those kneading erasers to kind of help with highlights as well.
Sure. How about colored papers? One of my favorite things to do was charcoal on gray paper.
Oh, I've never tried that. I'll
You will
have to.
absolutely love it because paper's already gray. And when you put white charcoal and stuff over it, it lights up your life. You will absolutely love it. Do you belong to other associations besides Greater Havel Arts Association?
I actually don't. I recently during the pandemic started getting back into it. So I kind of wanted to like look around
Uh-huh.
at associations and kind of find one that I really liked. And I really liked this one. I liked all the people. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to be the one I join.
You know what? This is a great association. I know we're kind of tooting our own horn here, but even through the pandemic, we did things live. We did this certainly, demos, so on and so forth. So it's a very active, and it was always a very active. So at least under Ann Jones's tutelage, it was. Before then, it was kind of like, But if I say that to her, she goes, "Now, Joan, it takes a team. It takes a team." And I said, "Yeah, but the person leading the team makes all the difference."
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's a really, really active association. So it's a good one to be in. And it's the only one I'm in as well. But there's the Newburyport Art Association, there's North Andover, and not you should always be part of GHAA. But looking around at some of their work and stuff is interesting too. Are you from? Excuse me, you're from the area?
I'm from Woburn.
Woburn.
Yeah. So a little hike.
You're a little out there. I mean, you live a little out there. I mean, personally, I apologize. I like to make jokes. Um,
Good.
Woburn is I live in Haverhill, so it's a good ride. So are you a new member? Are you a new
Yeah.
member?
I
Oh, okay, because I was going to
am.
say, are you able to come to some of the functions and stuff, especially where the winter is here? But try to come. You will love it, love it, love it. Okay, so Woburn, I love it. So I have to ask, where do your ideas and inspirations come from, young lady?
Some of them come from just places I visit. I like to travel, so my husband and I take a lot of pictures and I always go and take a picture like, oh, this would be a great painting or this would be a great drawing. And he just likes taking pictures. So he does that.
So you got, my ex used to take pictures of the clouds. And so I would take his pictures of the clouds, and you know how you can always see things in clouds? I would try to draw what I saw in the clouds. So, and sometimes I would mix the pictures together. You like Gettysburg, so you must have
It's
a lot of
beautiful.
pictures of those. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So you do a lot of plein air drawing and painting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you enjoy doing that? I enjoy doing it. I just don't like carrying all the stuff back and forth. It makes me crazy.
I do. And when we go, I plan for that. So I'll have a duffel bag and I'll just put some canvases in. I have a little tool tool case that has my brushes, some paint, paper towels, because you need those.
Lots of paper towels. Yep.
Yep,
Trash
bottle of
bags.
water,
Yeah. Yep.
trash bags.
Totally. So
My
what's
easel
your,
that's right behind me compacts down.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Nice. It's good. So, I want to ask you, what's the most fun for you? Now, what's the most fun thing about drawing and painting? Like when you're creating your art, what's the most fun thing? Like when you first, sometimes I've been teaching and doing art for a long time. Sometimes when I look at the canvas, if it came out really good, I go, gee willikers, I can't believe I did that. What's the most fun thing for you?
Um, I would have to say kind of the zoning out part. It's kind of meditative for me.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I can, if I have like a good song on and I'm just like into it, I can lose so much track of time.
What
And
kind of
then
music?
I know, it varies. It kind of feel some poppy, some rock, some classic rock,
The
show
reason
tunes.
the reason I'm asking is I have a student and I play the music that I like, which is, rock. Most Rod Stewart is my favorite. And she'll go, Joan, can we turn that off? Or can we turn that down? Or can we change it? So different music inspires different things in different people.
Mhm.
Um, and it absolutely seems to influence how you're painting, whether you're
Oh
painting
yeah.
slowly, fast, blah, blah, blah. So if you pick the music that goes with your picture, is that what you do? I do that. Do you?
Sometimes I'll shuffle and then a song will just hit me. And
Uh-huh.
then that song's on repeat over and over and over and over and over again.
That is perfect. I'm so glad that someone else does that besides me. My family looks at me like I am totally weird when I do that.
Nope, you're
So
not.
that's good. That's good. Misery loves company. So, what's the hardest thing for you? Like I said, I don't like carrying the stuff back and forth. But what's the hardest part or the most difficult part?
Sometimes just finding what speaks to you can be the hardest.
Okay. Okay. So do you ever experience a slump or a block? The
Oh,
famous artist block.
yeah,
Yes? Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. There are times when I feel like every second I'm drawing or painting or whatever, and then there are times when I'm just kind of teaching, so I kind of go back and forth. But do you teach at all? Students keep you really well-rounded. I want to do this. I want
I
to do that.
don't actually. I
You,
don't.
do
No.
you have any interest? Some people just don't.
I would if if someone was like, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" I'd be like, "Sure."
Yeah,
My
good.
best.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I was curious because we like to know, do people teach? And I saw on your website that you do sell your artwork. So, and you said you had Etsy store. Etsy
Yeah,
store? Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Yeah. I do not have anything like that. There are two big art shows in Boston, usually in January and February, and they're kind of
Wow.
one was canceled, and the other one is uh, is a hybrid of virtual and in person. So I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but I'm going to look them up and send them to you. I'll email them to you,
Oh, sure.
okay? Because I'm going to get it right. K Bose. Okay. Um, I know the Arisia and Boscone. The Arisia one I was registered for, and they actually canceled it outright because they
Oh,
had done so much work trying to get it in person, and then with the new Omicron outbreaks, blah blah blah. But if you want good exposure for your work, and they're mostly sci-fi kind of conferences,
oh,
um,
cool.
I have been um, showing my work there and actually volunteering there for like over 20 years, and there's never
Wow,
been less than 5,000 people walking through that place. So we're talking exposure here.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so if I don't send it to you, ask me, say, hey, yo, you said you were going to send these to me because you'll
Totally.
absolutely love it. I usually go stay the whole weekend, like stay at the hotel there. You'll meet other artists, amongst other things that will probably turn your hair white. But that's a different show altogether. Okay. So so at this point, I want to ask you what your favorite artwork is, but can we try doing the share thing again? And I will
Sure.
get on your website. I
Yeah,
hope.
because most of my favorites are up there.
Yes. Well, yeah. God, am I good? I love it.
Yay!
I'm telling you, this pandemic has its upside. We're learning. Okay. So K-Bo's Fine Arts. So if people want to get a hold of you, they can
Hmm.
get on here and look. Let me move my little screen thingy out of the way here. Oh, okay. So maybe I'm not as good as I thought. All right, wait, there we go. All right. So, oh, these are your paintings,
Hmm.
Alcatraz. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell us, first of all, is this an acrylic? Acrylic on canvas.
Yep.
So what inspired all of this stuff? And perspective is such a difficult thing for students to get. So how hard was it to do this?
It was very hard, and I can actually notice things that are kind of leaning a little and not completely straight, but whatever.
Mhm. I was
um,
gonna say life is not perfect.
exactly.
Mhm.
Um, so I actually went on vacation in San Francisco with my husband, and this is actually from a picture he took when we went to see Alcatraz.
And this is an unnoticed view. So is it like on the other side of it?
It is.
Oh, it is.
Uh,
It's called the other
yep,
side. Duh. All right. All right.
all good. Yeah, usually when you see Alcatraz and you see pictures of Alcatraz, you'll
Uh-huh.
see like just the viewpoint from San Francisco Bay where you see the whole prison. This is actually the backside of it from when you take the boat ride to the prison from
Very
the dock.
cool. Very
Yeah, it's pretty
cool.
cool. And I
Okay.
like that you got to see like part of the Golden Gate Bridge in the background.
Right over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I love it. I love it. Okay. And so if people, one is for sale,
Yep.
details, shipping policies. All right. So let's
And that's all
see.
from Etsy, like the shipping policy. So in all honesty, I have no idea what it says.
Oh, I totally understand that. Okay, two sunflowers. Sunflowers are everyone's favorite. Okay, two sunflowers. Now I have to ask, this is probably a very obvious question, but most of the time when people do subject matter, it's three or five. People never do one or four or six. So how did you get around the compositional problem? And I see where it is over here. There's a lighter area here that draws the eye. But
Mhm.
tell people what you did here.
I was just starting to get back into painting,
Hmm.
and I actually have a friend who is a tattoo artist, but also an artist.
Cool.
And he kind of said, okay, you want to get this tool, you want to get these brushes if you really want to start out. So I started working with a palette knife for the first time with this piece.
Yeah, see
Never
it.
worked with one before,
Yeah.
and I have so much fun with it now. I don't know why I never did before. So even though there is like the empty space, I like that it kind of draws your eye
Hmm.
towards the sunflowers, where the palette knife, you can see where I scraped and scraped and scraped into the direction.
Hmm. and the smallest sunflower on the bottom kind of leads to the top over here.
Hmm.
And then you have a little bit of darker on the left. And it works. You know what I mean? It really works.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did she do that? That's, aw- that's awesome.
And I love painting flowers. They're one of my favorite things.
Nice.
I used to always paint Gerber daisies for my mom. She passed away in February, so I just got back some of the Gerber daisies paintings I painted for her.
Uh-huh.
Um, so this kind of brought me back to my roots with the sunflowers because I love shading, I love highlighting, I love blending. So this piece itself kind of brought me back into my art.
Nice. Very, very nice. I really, really like it. So
I use it for
flowers,
my business cards too.
do you really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect then. I love it. So is this, so charcoal is your favorite medium, your favorite subject matter? Do you have a favorite? Because you did the
Um,
buildings, you did the flowers.
I like flowers. I like doing abstract a lot,
Yeah.
especially, yeah, like that one. That was actually based off of a social media challenge from the platform TikTok, which is why it's called TikTok Challenge.
TikTok challenge.
It's made completely out of 3 different colors.
Yeah, I was counting. Not that I didn't believe you, I'm counting. I love it.
And the
So,
colors were picked at random as well.
oh, really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
closed my eyes and put my hand in my paint jar.
All right. So the way that you talk and whatnot, you have a real spiritual component to your work, which I'm assuming is you inside. So is that, do you feel, are you a spiritual person? And I don't mean religious, I mean spiritual, like
Oh
very
yeah.
connected and blah, blah. Okay. That's very cool. A lot of artists are, but your terminology really points you in that direction. So
Yeah.
this dark in here is not like black. It looks like a plum color almost. So is that what all this is in here?
Yep.
Combination of, oh, cool. Okay.
Kind of I believe it's like all 3 put together.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because over here looks kind of plum, over here looks kind of brown, and is it
Yeah,
interesting.
I for some reason I wanted to do this challenge with a skull, so I just looked up skulls
I
in
was going to
Google
ask you that. Why a skull?
and I drew it with pencil first so I
Uh-huh.
could get all the detail and then I did all of the painting. I don't know
Why,
why. I just picked
why
a
a
skull.
skull? You don't know, just pick the skull.
Yeah, it just popped in my head.
That you should do that.
So I did.
Okay. So you did. Is this no, 11 by 14. Do you use canvases, canvas panels? Students ask me all the time. Do you like
Um
canvas
I
panels? You like
I buy wrapped canvas from a department store.
Okay.
One
Yeah.
of like craft store chains. I get them when they're on sale.
Yeah. I actually do the same thing. I buy them in bulk online,
Yeah.
actually.
I have a whole
Because
closet of blank canvases.
yes, totally understand that. If you can see behind me, you will see a bunch of canvases. The canvas panels are actually easier to frame because they're thinner. But I don't know if you found this at all, but when I'm painting on a panel, sometimes it warps. And I don't know if it's just because I have so much paint on it or what. Sometimes they warp. So, I don't know what that does to the quality of the painting. I would assume it's still okay. Once you get it into a frame, it kind of unwarps. But I was just wondering what your take on that was. Oh, look how pretty that is. This is a feather and it's called Feather. I love it that you just so, it's not, melodical feather or melodious feather. It's feather. I like it. Oh, look at this. How did you do that? That's pretty. How'd you
It
do that?
was palette knife and string. I actually took string over the canvas to do the background and I just moved it back and forth.
What kind of acrylic paints do you use? Do you have a favorite?
Um, Artist Loft. It's the kind
Okay.
I just buy at the local craft store.
Mhm. Mm. I use all different ones, but this almost has a shimmer to it. Is it like a
Oh,
pearl
there's
paint or did you
yeah,
add?
there was like a silvery, shimmery
Uh-huh. Okay.
color.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a, I think it's a powder you can actually add to paint to make it pearled or satin
Oh,
finish like
cool.
that. I was wondering which one you use. So this is palette knife and string. So palette knife, I would have guessed. String, I wouldn't have. So is that all these in here? These little lines in here is the string part
Yep. And you can kind of see it's almost like a triangle kind of framing the feather almost.
here
Yep.
and here. Oh, okay. So you got the string at the top and just kind of moved it back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, too cool. All right. And what about the feather itself? This is
Um,
painted on.
Again, I was just like, oh, a feather would be really cool to do. So
Ah,
looked up feather in Google and put it on top. I kind of wanted to really do something that brought color, but black and white as well.
I was just going to say the combination of the two is quite striking because typically the subject matter, in this case, is the feather, would have all the color and detail, and the background would be, and you actually turned it around, and the effect is quite mesmerizing, actually.
Aw,
Want to sit
thanks.
here and kind of stare at it for a while because I can see all kinds of little color poking through the feathers and through here.
Yeah, and
So
that one actually is hanging up behind me on the wall on top of the
I s-
mini doll.
I can see it, and we can see more detail here, obviously. That raises another question. Do you have pictures that you don't want to sell, that you won't let go of, or do you
Uh,
willing
there,
to sell them all?
there are a couple of the ones that I made for my mom. I only have available for print
There you go.
on my Redbubble store, but the actual canvases themselves, I would never sell. They're too sentimental to me.
Yeah, I have one that I made for my parents, but that's pretty much it. I have a student who she'll make a picture to sell, and then she's like, "Well, I like it. I'm going to keep it." And so I look at her, and she's young. She's a young girl. So I said to her, "Well, get yourself a canvas print and make the sale, make the sale."
Hmm.
So we're still working on that one, but I was wondering how you felt about it. Most artists, I have pictures that sometimes I have to keep them for a while, and then I'm willing to sell them. It depends on what they are, but the majority of them I'm totally willing to sell. This is a nice piece. So this is painted on, and then the is this Payne's gray or black? What did you use here?
I used gray, black, and white.
Okay.
So the
So this,
black, yeah, you can see right there
yeah.
a lot of the shadow work with
Uh-huh.
straight up black. I
Okay.
did darken the gray a little bit as I got further down the feather.
Yep, down in through here.
Yeah.
Okay. Very pretty. Nice. I like the blend work on it. It's very cool. And it's still it's the background makes the feather pop. It's just a nice combination. You did a good job here. Very nice.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Gray Angel. This is another abstract.
A lot of palette knife work.
Yeah. Do you ever use just your fingers?
Not yet, but I was thinking about that actually earlier this week. I was like, I want to do a painting where I just blend with my fingers and see how that is.
Totally. This is another one where you've brought a lot of color out in the background and kept this the focal point kind of not monocolor but pretty close. And then we pick up some of the colors here and here, and it's actually up here too. So it actually draws the eye. This is a nice piece.
Oh,
So,
thanks.
well,
This
you're
one's really big
welcome.
too.
This was what?
This one's pretty big too, size wise.
20 by 60. Yeah. Yep, we do a lot of those. So, all right. So, question:
Hmm.
all the now you did this on some of your other pictures too. You leave a lot of empty space, and it's not a problem because you're doing the color work with it. But why leave the empty space? What's the thought process?
when I actually was doing this background, it was kind of towards the beginning of the pandemic, and I had a lot of stress and anxiety going on. So I kind of worked a lot of that into the background. And then as I got down more towards where the angel was, I kind of released a lot of that and kind of figured out like my self-care practices and what I really needed to do to kind of like keep myself level.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's like a small entity in a whole big world of like chaos type of thing.
yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Your work has a lot of feeling to it. Very nice.
Aw, yay.
Okay, Saks Covered Bridge in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Okay. One of your favorite places. On location, National Military Park in Gettysburg. Acrylic on canvas. Nice. So, as you're walking around and you like these, how do how do you say, okay, this is going to make a good picture? That one, mezza, because it's probably more than one place that has a
Oh,
good,
yeah.
good composition. So, how do you decide?
Well, luckily in Gettysburg, pretty much everywhere is a good picture.
Yes.
So I actually have some paintings that aren't posted here from Gettysburg that I have done as well, like farms, um, some of the battlefield as well. I like to choose places where I know I won't be interrupted a lot, or if it's a place that I know is popular, I
Mm-hmm.
go when I know there won't be a lot of people because I have drawn and painted here so many times that I kind of know I'm going to get interrupted if I don't stop. I'm
So,
going to have a lot of people coming up and asking me questions, and I don't mind answering questions, but when I'm in the zone, like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to be rude.
Yeah, you need a sign in the zone. Please ring doorbell or take a number.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they want to know, what are you drawing? Do you do that? What are you using? Blah blah blah. This and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, totally.
I've become part of several tours, and I've also been the subject of many people's family pictures.
Really? Yeah. Oh, because they're taking photos and
Yeah,
okay.
you're like, oh, look, someone's painting. Click.
No, it's painting. That's right. And you know something? That's because not everyone can do it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I always tell them it's the hard that makes it great, like Tom Hanks said in that movie, League of Their Own.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a great movie. I must have watched that like 10 times. So this, I actually, I actually thought this was a photograph. Oh,
It
look
is
at
a
that.
photograph.
It is
Yeah,
a photograph of your artwork or a photograph?
it's a photograph. So those are just glass jars that
Oh, okay. Because
prep,
I'm like, oh my God, look at that.
and I actually paint on chalkboard paint,
Okay,
and I just have so many of them. I'm like, hey, maybe someone else wants one.
cool. There,
That's my incense for meditating.
oh, yeah, that's so cool that you meditate. Every successful person I know meditates, and people look at me when they say that, but it's so true.
Yeah,
There
no,
is,
I actually need to do it more.
yeah, yeah, totally. I, I do guided meditations and stuff, and
Oh wow.
I actually do meditate in the morning and in the evening, and it does keep you pretty centered.
It
And
does.
these past 2 years, there's been a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
need for centering. As I'm looking at these jars in the Greater Havel Arts Association on the website, see if you can pick out Tracy Miola.
Hmm.
She does. You cannot tell the difference between her painting and a real glass. Okay, so check out some of
Wow.
her work if you like with that kind of detail. And she's like, I mean, I was like totally amazed. Glass jars, hand painted with chalkboard paint. Easy signs, multi-use. So can you erase that because it's
Yeah.
a chalkboard? I've seen chalkboard paint. I've never used it, but I was kind of wondering what happens if we, oh, okay, a little, cool. And it comes out that smooth, huh? That's pretty
It
cool.
it takes a lot of cleaning of the jars to get it that smooth.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think of that. So how do you like boil them? How do you clean them?
Um, essential oils and
Oh,
nail polish remover.
no way, really?
Yeah.
And,
Just look
and
a
these,
little bucky.
I was gonna say, I see one, two, three little bumps in here. This over here. Did these have labels on them to begin with that you had to get off and then clean? Uh,
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
it's the glue.
yeah. Sounds painful to me. So if we click on gallery, will we see more pictures?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, these are some of your charcoals. Nice. Charcoal, original charcoal on newsprint, on
Yep. It's
newsprint.
actually from my school. I
Oh,
did that
wow.
one in school.
23 and a half inches by 8. It's newspad for sure. Love it. Wow. So these were actual, this was an actual still life setup?
Yeah, so the teacher, Jerry, would just put a bunch of stuff in the middle of the classroom, and he would just say, okay, let's just do a little free drawing. And I, my eyes always just went to like one or two things and not the entire set.
I was just going to ask you that. So did you guys all like kind of move around the room and find a spot that you liked, or
Yeah, you could do that
you could
if you
do that?
wanted to. I usually just would stay in my seat, look at all of the stuff, and just be like, oh, I like that. Let's go with that.
So how long does it take to do something like this? Because this actually has quite a bit of detail in it here.
Uh, it can take hours, maybe days, depending on how detailed you wanted to do it.
And look at this draping. Very nice.
I love doing like drapery or like wrinkles in shirts, wrinkles in blankets.
Wrinkles on faces.
Yep.
I did a graphite. I was just doodling, but I did a graphite of an old man's face with wrinkles on it. And I mean, it was on yellow copy paper. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And I'm like, that was just a doodle. Like you said, sometimes you just get in the zone.
Yep.
This is our angel and our beautiful feather, sunflowers. Abstract painting, 11 by 14. Do I have the whole thing? I do. So tell us, looks like shooting stars.
I don't know. I was just like, I just want to do some lines.
But color choices, those are pretty dramatic colors.
Yeah. I felt like doing something red.
Very, very cool. Here is our other side.
This is a Gettysburg one. This is from the battlefield.
And this is paint, looks like colored pencil almost.
It's acrylic on canvas. But I got really into using the gold paint. And you can kind of see that in the back where a lot of the yellow is. That's actually gold paint that I used for highlight.
Oh, okay. Like metallic gold?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it doesn't show up as metallic here, but as far as I'm concerned, you can never have enough bling. My stuff
Mhm.
has a lot of metallics and it has a lot of sparkles in it. Totally love it.
This is actually a Devil's Den.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's this little guy way back here? Can almost not see it.
It's a tree.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's a tree. Okay, so this is it over here. I didn't realize this was the top of the tree. And these are all trees back here. This is very cool. I love this rock right
Oh,
here. The whole
yes,
picture is nice.
it's from Little Round Top, which in the battle was like a really important location for the Union Army to keep.
Okay.
So a lot of the historical. So a lot of the Confederate Army was climbing up little round top to try and take it over because it had that beautiful viewpoint that you can kind of see. You can see everywhere.
Yeah, you really can.
Yeah. And of course they lost.
They lost. That's right. Golden Gate Bridge. Now, the Golden Gate Bridge to me always looks kind of red or rust colored. So why they call it the Golden Gate Bridge? Do you know that answer, young lady? I do not.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And I'm like, why they call it that? Maybe when the sunlight hits it, it looks golden. This is a nice picture. And
Oh,
it's
thanks.
hard to get. There's a lot of detail in here as well. So you certainly don't mind doing detail work.
I like the detail work. I find it calming.
I actually do too. And I don't do, I mean, I do poured paintings and stuff. I'm looking around because I'm in my art studio. But the detailed ones are the ones that I really enjoy. So was this done? Oh, you did it in San Francisco. So this was on location as well. Yeah?
No, this is from one of my husband's pictures. I wish I could have painted this on location, but it gets very foggy there.
Yeah. Plus, I imagine that you would get a lot of questions and whatnot trying
Yeah.
to do that. And that was going to be my next question. Do you ever like take, when you're doing plein air painting, the sun changes so quickly that it's hard to get the shadows and highlights in. Do you ever take reference pictures, like you start out somewhere and take some pictures? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Just in case, because you never know.
Yes. Yeah, just in case.
And I'm really pale, so if I'm out in the sun like way too long, I burn so fast.
Yeah, totally understand that one. Okay, let's see. So that was here. Elsewhere, navigate, shop about events. Shipping policies. Fine print. I love it. So what else should we look at here? About, is this about the artist?
That is me.
Is that what this is about the artist? Always enjoyed creating, centered and grounded. Salve Regina University. So where is Salve Regina University? Where is that?
It's in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, but when I switched majors, I actually transferred schools and went to UMass.
This is nice that you put the story out there. Depression took over drastically with support of
Yeah.
superiors. Ah, it says that in time I realized I need to return to the art community as it was always my first love. And, some people never quite take that journey. I mean, you go through some adversity, but you like to think you're getting something out of it. You're not just going through it for nothing.
Yeah.
Strokes you can see and follow the journey of my life through the artwork. I hope it brings you as much joy. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's cool. And it's called Meet the Artist. I didn't even notice that. I love it. I think that's cool that you do that because most artists don't share that personal stuff with people, but that is okay. All right. So I asked you if you taught. You said no, but you would be willing to if people wanted you to teach them. A question. Okay, so I asked this of everyone. What makes an art piece successful or not, in your opinion? And I get lots of different answers.
I think an art piece is successful if it can really have someone start a conversation. Like, I
Cool.
don't think it has to be successful if someone buys it. I mean, certainly that would be helpful. But if it really speaks to somebody and makes them ask, oh, well, why did they choose these colors? Why, like, it makes me feel this way. How about you? If it starts a conversation, I feel that makes it successful.
I go along with that. I think even if I did a picture one time and it was kind of abstract, and people either liked it or they didn't. There was no in between, and I thought it was successful because when people saw it, they would make comments about it, good, bad, and other way. But they always made comments about it. So, so I get a lot of interesting answers when I ask that question. So someone said to me, what makes RP successful to you? I said, I'm very simple-minded. If I like it, it's successful. I like it, you know? So they just kind of laugh at me, but that's kind of the bottom line. And, you know, if and your preferences and whatnot really do kind of come into play because, um, you know, I have a student who does the most awesome artwork, and but he's very genre specific. So I mean, he draws a lot of like motorcycles and stuff like that. He's like, "How come my work doesn't sell, Ms. Joan?" You know, so I'll say to him, "Well, take it to Laconia to Biker Weekend, you know, or take some." But in the end, you know, it comes down to whether someone likes it or not. I actually judged one of the shows at in Boston, and there are so many pictures that are eligible to be best of show or second show. There are so many. There's more than one. So if you have two pictures and they're both best of show quality, the one that you pick is the one you like. That's what it comes down to. And so he had a fit. That is so not fair. And I said, it may not be fair. I said, but I said, there's probably, you know, there's probably a lot of pictures that are like that. So when it comes down to it, if you like it, okay. So even though he wasn't happy at me, so we know your artwork is for sale. What kind of payments do you take? Check, money. People always forget about the cash part. Venmo, Zelle, there's a lot of stuff out there. What do you accept for payment, young lady? Oh, on your,
Venmo, PayPal, cash,
anything. I
pretty
don't.
much anything.
So what's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they have questions? Do you do commission work, by the way?
I do. I actually drew somebody's dog they lost a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, pet
That char
portraits.
I
Yeah,
do
very
charcoal
cool.
commissions because acrylic, like I'm still working on my painting ability, so I'm not comfortable really doing commissions with that yet, but I
But you're
do commission
confident with the charcoal.
charcoal.
Okay. So so tell people again what your website is.
It's kbossfineart.com,
Okay. And email is
kbossfineart@gmail.com.
gmail.com. And so is your telephone number if they want to get a hold of you that way? Is that anywhere? Is that like on your website or you prefer them just to reach you
Through email.
through email is the
Yeah,
best
I get
way?
a lot of spam calls, so I tend not to answer phone
Oh
numbers I
my
don't know.
God, you and me both. Okay. All right.
But I get email on my cell phone, so I'm always
Yes.
available.
Yeah, that's always a good way. Yeah, sometimes people will text me on my phone, but you're right, you get a zillion of those phone calls. My phone says potential scam more than it actually
I know, right?
the person kind of
Oh,
yeah, you know. But totally, this is totally awesome, and I'm so glad that I got to talk to you and meet you. And I think it's this Sunday is the reception at. Let me look in my little book here. And I was just wondering if you were going to be there. Oh, it's not this Sunday. It's the 30th. Okay, so Noonan's in Groveland. We're going to have our GHA exhibit there and reception, I believe. So, do you get the calendar and all that good stuff?
yeah.
I would love to meet you personally. That would be awesome. And see some of your work. There's a lot of exhibits coming up, actually. So, if we see some of your stuff there, that would be very cool.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, so unless you have something to add, I want to say thank you totally. This was awesome.
Oh, yay, I'm happy.
All right, same here. Thank you so very much, and
Anytime.
I will talk with you later, my darling.
See you then.
Bye. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Be legendary.